California's peaceful landscapes turned into a nightmare just 2 days ago, as roaring flames erupted unexpectedly, claiming everything in their path. What began as a small brush fire rapidly escalated, spreading across miles of terrain. The blue skies above turned into an inferno-colored canvas, choking the air with thick black smoke. People scrambled for safety, but the fire's speed was merciless. The wildfire ignited in a region already on edge due to prolonged drought and record-breaking heat waves. Conditions were ripe for disaster. Dry vegetation acted as fuel, while strong winds became the fire's accomplices, driving it forward at an alarming rate. By the time firefighters arrived, the blaze had already grown out of control, engulfing vast stretches of land. The first reports came from the outskirts of a residential area. Witnesses described a sudden roar, like an approaching storm, followed by a wall of flames that moved with terrifying speed. It was as if the fire had a mind of its own, said one resident. Families fled with nothing but the clothes on their backs, leaving behind their homes and cherished belongings. The fire didn't discriminate. Mansions, small homes, businesses, and even schools were reduced to ashes. In its wake, it left an apocalyptic scene. Cars melted, trees turned to blackened skeletons, and streets eerily silent except for the crackling of flames. For many, it felt like the end of the world. Emergency responders worked around the clock, battling exhaustion and danger. Helicopters dropped water and fire retardant from above, while ground crews created fire breaks to slow the inferno's advance. But the fire was relentless, feeding off the dry conditions and strong winds that refused to let up. Evacuation centers sprang up across the region, offering temporary shelter to thousands who had lost everything. Inside, the atmosphere was a mix of relief and heartbreak. Parents tried to reassure their children, though they too were grappling with uncertainty. Volunteers poured in, bringing food, water, and clothing to those in need. As the fire raged, speculation about its cause began to circulate. Some pointed to downed power lines, a common culprit in California's wildfire history. Others blamed the unprecedented heat wave, which had dried out the land to a dangerous degree. Environmental experts warned that this was a grim preview of what the future could hold if action isn't taken to address climate change. The ecological toll has been staggering. Wildlife fled the flames, many unable to escape in time. Birds abandoned their nests, deer and coyotes sprinted for safety, and smaller animals were caught in the blaze. The once thriving ecosystem now lies in ruins, with charred earth stretching as far as the eye can see. The air quality deteriorated rapidly, creating a public health emergency. Smoke spread far beyond the fire's immediate area, enveloping nearby cities in a toxic haze. Hospitals reported a surge in patients with breathing difficulties, as residents donned masks to protect themselves from the harmful particles. For firefighters, the battle was as much mental as physical. Each success, saving a home, halting the fire's advance, was hard-won, but losses weighed heavily on their spirits. "We are giving it everything we've got," said one firefighter, his face streaked with ash and determination. The human stories emerging from this disaster are a mix of heartbreak and heroism. Families narrowly escaping the flames, neighbors helping neighbors, and firefighters risking their lives to save complete strangers. These moments of solidarity shine brightly in an otherwise dark time. Despite the devastation, there is an undeniable resilience among the affected communities. Plans to rebuild are already taking shape, though the road ahead will be long and challenging. For many, the fire has strengthened their resolve to advocate for better fire prevention measures and climate action. The financial cost of the fire is staggering, with damages expected to run into the billions. Insurance claims are piling up, and local governments are scrambling to allocate resources for recovery efforts. It's a stark reminder of the economic toll such disasters inflict, in addition to the human and ecological costs. California's wildfire crisis is not new. Over the past decade, the state has faced increasingly destructive fires, fueled by climate change, urban sprawl, and outdated infrastructure. Experts warn that without significant changes, these disasters will only become more frequent and severe. The role of utility companies has come under scrutiny, with many questioning whether they did enough to prevent this fire. Previous wildfires have been linked to faulty power lines, leading to calls for stricter regulations and investment in safer infrastructure. The debate is as heated as the flames themselves. Scientists studying the fire have pointed to the phenomenon of fire weather, a deadly combination of low humidity, high temperatures, and strong winds. This perfect storm creates conditions where even a small spark can ignite a catastrophic blaze, as seen in this latest disaster. Beyond the immediate damage, the long-term effects of the fire are equally concerning. The loss of vegetation increases the risk of landslides, particularly if heavy rains follow. The destruction of wildlife habitats will take decades to repair, and the psychological impact on survivors is immeasurable. In the face of such devastation, acts of kindness stand out even more. Stories of strangers opening their homes to evacuees, businesses donating supplies, and volunteers working tirelessly to support displaced families show the strength of human compassion in times of crisis. As the fire slowly comes under control, attention shifts to recovery and prevention. How can California better prepare for the future? From improving forest management to investing in green energy, the solutions are clear but require collective action and political will. The resilience of the human spirit is evident as families begin to pick up the pieces. In the ashes of their former lives, they find hope and determination to rebuild. Their stories remind us that even in the darkest times, there is light to be found. This fire, like so many before it, serves as a wake-up call. It's a reminder that the choices we make today, about the environment, infrastructure, and community preparedness, will shape the future. California has faced fires before and will face them again, but each one is an opportunity to learn and adapt. As we conclude this story, let's not forget the people and animals affected by this tragedy. If you can, consider supporting relief efforts. Every small action makes a difference. And if you want to stay informed about important stories like this, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon. Together, we can make a difference and stay prepared for whatever challenges lie ahead.